Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Oh my gosh, the music's so loud. I'm sorry, guys. No, we don't want to play Synapse Dynamics. That's such a great song, though. Man. Guys, have you had this bacon? This is good stuff. You know, the best way
1 minute
to make bacon is in the oven. Like, you get like a baking sheet. You put like, you know, one of those baking wax baking paper on it. Cook it in the oven 400 degrees for like 30 minutes and you just get like this perfectly cooked bacon. Or you can do it in the oven. Wait, what? There's non-farms payroll. Guys, forget about the non-farms payroll. This is good bacon. This is good bacon. Let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so what am I talking about here, man? Overnight, GameStop announced emergency quarterly results, and then an announcement to sell up to 75 million new shares. This right ahead of Keith Gill setting up a live stream. People anticipating the stock to just go absolutely crazy. There's non-farms, by the way. They are selling hard.
Unemployment rate 4%. 4%.
Oh boy.
Forecast 3.9%.
Let them go.
Unemployment rate 6.2%.
Oh man,
as expected.
this just keeps getting better. Okay.
26.
Anyways, so people were expecting GameStop to go wild today because of Keith Gill's live stream and Ryan Cohen, who shall now and forever be known as Rug Pull Ryan,
higher than forecast. 106
decided to sell more shares. You know what? It's the right thing. He would be stupid not to do it.
78.5%. 78.
So, what does this have to do with bacon?
8%. US average work week.
Bulls make money.
30.
Bears make money.
As expected. US average earnings.
Hogs get slaughtered.
0.4.
And let me tell you something, guys. Wall Street likes its bacon real fatty and juicy. And I think that the GameStop apes have become awfully fat over the past
US
week.
manufacturing payrolls 8K, higher than forecast 5K. US labor force participation.
Unfortunately, this is just Costco bacon, but still, all the same, all the same.
Forecast 62 spots.
Okay, do you think that non-farms might cool down a little bit, so they are finding a little bit of a reprieve at 109.16?
Higher than forecast.
That is crazy. Let's come back and look at the volume profile, man.
Seeing non-farm payrolls, prior revised 165K.
Look at that. You took a rather successful sim long in that. Wow.
Prior revised 158K.
Dude. So basically half a week of run up just erased there. That's funny, dude.
Hourly earnings year on year prior revised 4%.
So let's dive into this a little bit. US non-farm payrolls 172,000 again, yeah.
6%. So US interest rate futures traders slash.
Well, I said, you know, if it was another one up in the 200s, that the market would probably sell pretty hard yesterday, didn't I?
The jobs data.
And then, oh, ouch. Average earnings month over month, spot 4 versus spot 3. And what about the headline unemployment rate? Where's that? Unemployment rate.
US 10.
Oh, okay. The unemployment rate ticks up to 4% versus 3.9. So that actually might give you a little bit of nuance to I think it's still a sell, but maybe a little bit of nuance for some moderation in this. Man, guys, I have never been more entertained in my life than at this moment right now. I'm pretty sure that this is because I am like peaking for my weightlifting, so like my nervous system is just ready to like I just want to like explode, man. Last night we had a crazy thunderstorm. I mean, it was a crazy when I saw it coming, because like there's just like everything in the room lights up, and I'm like, like just sat straight up in my bed. The fuck was that? Oh man, it was a thunderstorm. It was a thunderstorm, and it was so when your nervous system is going crazy like that, it is so difficult to sleep. So it was hard to get to sleep, and then I got woken up.
At least 10 basis points.
Right? So I didn't really sleep very good last night, and I don't feel it at all. I feel great.
So the Dixie now up 0.49%.
Your friend's car flooded out because it dumped so hard last night.
500 down.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. So I'm all uppity here. Then non-farms comes out, and it's a huge one. And then the GameStop thing, it just this is absolutely nuts, dude. This is way crazier. But the way this story is playing out,
it's no longer fully priced.
To me, is more crazy and more entertaining than the first time around. The first time around, it was kind of like a whimper. I felt like oh, they're just gonna turn the buy button off. Okay, but this time, complete rug pull right as everything is like hitting its crescendo. Oh my gosh! And I haven't even pulled up the chart. Yep. There it is. Okay, so they're still higher than yesterday, but I think you're going to see this stock just get absolutely destroyed this morning.
Money markets price in less than 55 basis points of ECB rate cuts in 2020.
Everybody was telling me, no, Ryan Cohen couldn't do it because all of the apes would turn on him. Well, he did it. So do you think that the apes will turn on him now and sell the stock? It could happen. It could happen, man. No, we were like, it took its first little breath at 16. It went a little bit lower. We are only 5 minutes into this, and I usually don't touch it 5 minutes in. And I'm not going to touch it with a live order, but I might do some sim.
And the pound falls 0.4%.
Anyways, I got plenty of bacon here, guys, so make sure you get some. It's a little too crispy. I like it juicy.
Bank of Canada July rate cut chances dipped to 44% from roughly 50% after the jobs report, swap market data shows. Brent crude futures pair gains.
Okay. So I don't have a story on Zero Hedge about the non-farms yet, but they do have a story about GameStop. So let's see here. Redditors and momentum chasers are being led into a burning building by meme stock trader Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty,
Treasury 3-year to 5
on the latest pump as GameStop shares ease overnight gains following the announcement of sharp revenue declines in the first quarter and an at-the-market offering program to sell more shares. Zero Hedge's tweet, the grift continues. GameStop may sell up to 75 million shares of Class A stock.
Since May 30th.
Let's begin by describing the source of the latest pump. Roaring Kitty's YouTube live event slated for 12 o'clock Eastern Time was announced on Thursday afternoon, which sent shares doubling from around $26 in cash session as high as $66 in after-hours trading. In pre-market trading, shares were above the 60 handle and then crashed 40% to around $38 following the news that GameStop filed an at-the-market offering to sell 75 million shares of the company's Class A common stock. Jefferies is the sales agent on the deal. Earlier, GameStop reported first quarter earnings showing net sales of $881 million, down from $1,237 million year over year. Net sales missed Wall Street's consensus estimate of $995 million. GameStop also reported an earnings per share loss of 12 cents, missing the average estimate of 9 cents. According to Reuters, this miss highlights customers' shift to online video games and collectibles while the retailer continued to rely on its brick-and-mortar stores. Just weeks ago, during another pump by Gill, GameStop announced it sold 45 million shares of common stock for about $933 million. CEO Ryan Cohen is effectively using Gill's pumps to dump millions of shares into mom and pop retail, chasing momentum. At 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Gill will have to re-explain his investment thesis in GameStop as first quarter earnings show a sharp decline and Cohen is dumping endless shares. Meanwhile, reports suggest that E-Trade might take action against Gill, and at least one securities regulator is currently investigating him for potential stock manipulation. Well, my theory is that Keith Gill, in the live stream, was planning on executing his options. He'd made so much money on the options that he could probably afford to execute them and turn them into new shares. I think that Keith Gill has bought into the theory that instead of just going short the stock, they are now shorting the stock and keeping it down using derivatives. And so if you buy enough calls and execute them all, they won't be able to come up with the shares, and there will be like a huge blow up sort of a thing. I think that that's what he was thinking. And so the live stream was to announce that he was going to convert his options, or that he had already converted his options into buying more shares. I think that's what he was going to do. So now that they have rug pulled in front of his live stream, who knows what happens?
Priced in for 2024.
Maybe he doesn't do the live stream now. I think he probably will, but I'd have to consider that a possibility. By the way, Treasury's coming back to 109.16. But what a wild ride. I'm a little bit disappointed though, because last night I was looking at like what were the closing options prices. I was like, well, what if they were able to get back to like 25 or 30, where this kind of all started? And it was only $70 for a put option, which would almost certainly be up now, right? But it looks like maybe the opportunity is already passed. Okay, so it has been more than 10 minutes now. I might be able to find something interesting in this noise. We are getting a decent pullback. I don't expect this to be the sort of thing where they're able to like crawl all the way back, and yet it's going to balance out somewhere in here. Go YOLO long. Long the treasuries or long the equities? Totally kiss the 14-day average. You know, I haven't been paying attention to those levels as much as I should. So I'm glad you mentioned those. Yeah, you're talking about this. Oh, you say 14. Who cares? Nobody cares about the 14-day moving average. But the 50 is down there. Or no, that's not the 50. That's the 100. You keep them off to the side. Yeah. No, I should be, you know, when we go through the stocks, I should be pulling up this daily chart and noting these levels, right? They are important. There are many strategies that incorporate these. So it can be a potential predictor of order flow once you factor in everything else. Okay, let's write our notes. We haven't even done our notes. Ba-dum-ba-dum. We do have wholesale inventories. It's not like a huge piece of news, but it is, oops, still one to keep an eye on.
Block sell.
My goodness. I wonder if it would have triggered the way it did. No, it's just allergies, man. That is another thing with when your nervous system is like really overcompensating, is you can get sick. It wouldn't surprise me at all to come back on Monday and be sick, but Ninja Trader would have been like, "Well, what prices did you get, Lucy?" You know, we can kind of look at a few things and we could try and game it out. The first thing was like, were you using a stop limit order, right? Because those may not be as likely to but that's why I always like to go in with, you know, like during news events like these, because I've had it slip on me so many times that I only do it with limit. Like I will be hitting into the, you know, well, I guess in this case I'd be hitting into the bid. I hit into the bid, but I hit into the bid with a limit order so that if I don't hit it, I still just end up in the queue, right? So if you were doing an order like that and Ninja Trader said that you got filled, then it probably would have worked. So you went in at 09, 110.09 half. Oh man, no way. Okay. Well, there was some volume there. The stop was the overnight low at the time, so I just risked 1 for 2 on it. So was it a stop order at the low? If it was a market stop order, then okay, then you probably would have gotten in, but probably just not that particular price, right? But in this instance, it spiked up first and then went down. So you would have still made money. You would have still absolutely have made money, just maybe not nearly as much. Like, when you look at that, hold on a second, my throat is going all gravelly. Oh, you mark it in long, regular stop at the low, and then a limit at 2x the value of the stop. Oh. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that was... Well, the entry on the stop, you probably still would have gotten, something. You probably would have gotten something. But, this area right here, okay, so it touching there and then you execute, you've got a long, so who knows? You would have caught a lot of slippage. But you would have made money. I honestly thought that non-farms was going to come pretty in line. I expected, I was ready at like 6:20 my time. I was ready 6:20 my time, but then I was having a little bit of trouble with my data because I accidentally started an extra instance of Rhythmic Trader Pro, and Ninja Trader was trying to attach to the wrong instance. So that's why I only got in for 2 minutes. Otherwise, I would have been able to give my whole spiel and the drama before the news come out, and then we could have, had a more focused reaction to that. But I thought, and I could have given you my thoughts about it beforehand, but my reading was that we were probably going to be pretty close. But no, they had another winner. So I think what's going on here again, though, is that these jobs are coming from illegal immigration mostly. And the models that Wall Street is using is not factoring any of that stuff in at all, and that's why they keep missing by so much. The risk reward wouldn't bother me on the trade, but the potential slippage is what scares me. I could risk 140 on a non-farm payroll trade, no problem, but experience tells me I'd lose $1,000. Yeah. I don't know. I have taken some good, just like I said, with a limit order, reacting to it. I have gotten some good ones. But I kind of stopped playing that game because, I got burned too many times. I kind of think, actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna say it. I actually think that you could make money at that game. It's just the amount of risk that you have to play it is super, super high, and it's way too much for me. But if we were on like $100,000 account, one contract in there on that, sure. And I think that you probably could make money over the long run doing that. Even just hearing the report and then reflexively clicking in. Like the treasuries with the treasuries, there's enough liquidity that there are some instances where you can get away with that stuff. But with the way that you did it, which is just like setting a couple of orders and just letting it play out. Yeah, that one is not. No, because what could happen is you could have a report there where they jump first and then they dump and hit the stop and you get in on that. And then before it hits your profit target, they jump back up. You know, that's very, very rare. But it does happen. And when it does happen, you'd just be destroyed, right?
ECB's Decause says future ECB rate cuts are to depend on data.
Weren't for the slippage, you could reasonably play the 50-50 odds on it and make money long term if your entry is advantageous. Well, so the thing is like let's say that you just setting orders on prices, let's just say for the sake of argument that is break even. Okay. Now add being informed to that strategy. So you don't take the trade until you hear the numbers and you have a pretty good idea of what direction it's supposed to go. And you try at least to get an order in there on it. Right. Then if the random one is break even, then that should give you an advantage. And if that's in one of those situations where you as a retail trader, you're only doing one lot, you have an advantage, right? So you just have to be willing to lose $500 on a single trade to do it. That's the problem. Otherwise, I think I would probably still do it. You'd have to bet on the inevitable swing in the wrong direction first. Well, you kind of. So like on this one, okay, we were at like 08.5, right? And when there was a spike, there was like this huge, but like the push up there like that is like almost instantaneous. Like you barely can't even see it, right? And while that's happening, you hear the number. If you're fast enough, you might have been able to go short somewhere above 110 even. It's possible. And then that like 1 to 5% of the time where you get like double head fake, that's the one where you would lose money and you might have to risk as much as $500 on that. So that's where the risk is really high. Because it would be a R factor less than 1 probably. Probably most of the time you're making, like you said, you made 250 or something on it, right? Right. And if your stop is $500, then 270, yeah. So, what, 17, 18 ticks? That's still really good. That's still really good. By the way, what's the yield curve doing with this? Flattening and then not doing anything since then. And they do seem to be balancing out on the lower end of the range. Curious. There's a big old fatty order at 110. Or sorry, 109.11. 110. Good. 109.11. Big old order. Kind of holding them back for now. Ooh, by the way, we got to check the Japanese yen here. Actually, let's just go down through everything. Man. So they just wiped out like 3 days worth of rallying here in the treasuries. That's insane. ES. Getting hammered, but still not completely wiping out the rise from 2 days ago when Nvidia was just going absolutely wild. Oil recovering a little bit. Gold and silver just destroyed off of that news. That sucks because they didn't really get a whole lot off of the rally in treasuries, and now when it's high they get punished. Okay. Let me tell you something. I do feel a little bit bad gloating here when the apes are losing all this money, right? So I want to help you out. So I'm going to tell you something. Here's my advice to you, okay? They can't just make up new shares with silver. They can increase the margin requirements on you, but they can't just make up new shares in silver. That's all I'm saying. All right? Anyways, copper. Oh, dismal. They might break 4.5 here, and then who knows where copper goes. And the Japanese yen. Okay. So it's not to like danger Roger Wilco levels here, but that is real ugly.
Spot 3% June 6th, unchanged from June the 5th.
I think that is enough of a shift there that we do have to be concerned about possible intervention stuff, right? Oh, yes, you're right. It's Danger Will Robbins. Roger Wilco was a game, wasn't it? Yes, it was a video game. You don't have to know thoughts on game. Man, you missed the best intro. It was not. You know what? I tried to be theatrical about it. And like earnings was happening at the same time. And I don't think it was actually that good. I don't think it was actually. You tell me, Uzi, was it too silly? Or do you think that the bacon thing was funny? Okay, well, just in case you missed it, overnight, GameStop emergency released quarterly earnings, even though it's supposed to be released next Wednesday, and then announced a new shares sell. And all of this ahead of Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill, scheduling a live stream this morning where he was widely anticipated to execute his calls. So now, who knows what happens? I didn't really get it. I just thought you were eating bacon, yeah. You know about the live stream and the share dilution. So the thing as this has all been going on, the people, I tell you what, man, there's a subreddit called GME Meltdown, and there is this like, oh my gosh, this huge rivalry between the GME Meltdown sub and the Super Stonk stub. And some of these people at Super Stonk are super triggered by the GME Meltdown guys. So like when it's going up, they're all gloating like you should close the subreddit down now and all of these sorts of things, right? Oh, we gotta see the drama.
Israel will.
You gotta see the drama, man. It's great.
Removed.
Okay, reddit.com/r/GME meltdown, and then reddit.com/r/superstonk, I think is what it is, right? 1.1 million members. Oh, they have the YOLO and everything. Okay, here we go. GameStop to offer up to 75 million shares at the money. Super Stonk deletes posts when they don't. Yeah. I posted there one time, hey, like if you guys did this on silver, it would be totally crazy. And they banned me for that. Now Ryan Cohen should buy those 75 million shares. Okay, good luck with that one. I don't listen to them anymore. I don't think that Wall Street Bets is a controlled subreddit, but there's certainly a lot of people trying to influence it, for sure. And Super Stonk, I wouldn't consider Super Stonk a... Well, I mean, what evidence do you have that it's a controlled subreddit? I don't consider Super Stonk a controlled subreddit. I just think that the people that are running it have no clue what's going on. I hate this. Twice in a month, Ryan has filed to dilute during a run-up. I want to trust the guy, but bro... When you post... No, but it's more complicated than that, right? So if I post a piece of accurate information and they know that it is accurate information and they delete it because it is accurate information that goes contrary to their narrative, then I would absolutely say that, yeah, it's a controlled subreddit. But that's not what happens. What happens is if I post accurate information that goes contrary to their narrative, they don't believe me because it's like practically a cult. So the end result is the same. I wouldn't trust the stuff that you see people say there. But I don't think it's a conspiracy theory to mislead you. It's just people that don't know what's going on.
Says labor market participation rate remains
very... So a really good example, last night I posted it because I know all this stuff was happening today and I was like, well, I should put something in there on TikTok before. So this guy was saying, well, the reason that we're all mad is because our orders don't matter. When we buy, it doesn't affect the stock. Well, that's completely false. Completely false. He's saying, well, if it goes to a dark pool, then it doesn't have impact. It still has impact on a dark pool. Okay, first of all, the market makers and so forth in the dark pool, they're going to react to that. But then second of all, after they sell the share to you or whatever the deal is, they're going to turn around and they're going to buy it from the open market. So it eventually does make it to the exchanges, just that there's a lot of intermediaries. And look, there's a lot of good reason to question the whole market microstructure system that they have set up with stocks. Okay. It's kind of crazy. I feel like it's a little bit of an antiquated system. Why don't all orders just go to the exchange? We have the technology and the ability to do that now. But look, who am I to dictate that, right? It's a free market. This system wasn't created by some government entity that had this all-knowing power about the way that the market should be structured and set it up. No, the market set this system up. You could totally make an exchange where the rule is that all orders go directly to the exchange and you can't be taking flow from anywhere else, and see how well it does. And if people prefer to trade that way, then they'll go to that exchange, right? But who am I to dictate it? Okay. But I totally understand people saying it shouldn't be that way and being upset that the system goes like that. Okay. But your shares still have impact, and it is the retail traders pushing it up. So I put that on there. These apes, is that what we're supposed to refer to them as? The apes, they don't believe that. That's one of their fundamental ideas, is that nothing that they do actually affects the stock. That if it's going up, it can only be because of shorts covering and not them. But I think that they're going to find out real quickly here, especially if Keith gives in. If Keith like is forced to sell or something like that. Oh, it would be like the freaking apocalypse, man. Yes, and you can't say you should take profits, right? You can't say like, look, everybody's already been washed out. You should be taking profits now. You have to hold all it forever. He'll do the same thing he did in 2021. You think? Oh, what? You think he'll sell? I don't think he did sell, but I guess we'll find out at noon. I was kind of thinking, like, should I do like a live stream of the live stream, like live reaction sort of a thing? But I'm kind of thinking, nah, just let him do his thing. I'll watch it. I'll watch it and leave my comments in Discord. Or hey, we could do like we could do like voice chat on Discord. How about that? I'll get in on Discord and chat as he's doing it. Assuming that the live stream even works. I kind of wonder if it doesn't like crash. Would this allow the cope in this thread is so insane to me. Will this allow DFV to buy more without having to file for being an insider? The previous dilution already accomplished that. Oh my gosh. This is confirmed and new. This isn't how I pictured the morning. Yeah, if it wasn't for this, the shares would probably be chomping at the bit pre-market, man. I don't think he sold. I will bet you. I don't think that selling would make sense. So like the whole sequence of events, what he's done here, I think to some extent is a little bit nonsensical, but I think that the only like underlying motivation for him that really completely fits with his behavior, in my opinion, is that he believes he's a believer. Basically, he inadvertently created this cult. And, you know, those of us that are kind of the market watchers and really understand this stuff all kind of thought, okay, well, this has gone well beyond what he ever intended and has become a cult. And I think that what happened was he was super engaged. He's been reading everything that these people have been saying, and he bought into it. And so he now believes that there is still some mother of all short squeeze opportunity in GameStop, and he thinks that he can trigger it by buying a huge options position and then executing the options. That's what I think. Now, it could be wrong. We could get in there this morning and him be like, oh, I already sold, guys. Sorry. Could happen. Possible. You're right, Captain Price. That's the word I'm searching for. Occultists. There's definitely a world where he could have executed, yes. Here it is what I personally do not like about it. Okay, so now this subreddit, they totally play the we're the bad guy thing. So I'm trying really hard here, guys. It's not working. I want to be the bad guy. I want to be the guy that's like, you know, they're raging so hard because I say something and it's not what they want to hear. And then I turn around and all of this happens and I'm laughing about it. I want to be the bad. How come I can't be the bad guy? Huh? Would it be the... No. But I'm not getting anybody in chat coming in here and raging at me. I'm not attracting The problem is that you guys all, I've taught you too well. That's the problem. That's the problem. I've taught you too well. You understand what's going on, and you guys haven't been suckered in by this nonsense. So when I start going on about it, it's just kind of like, you know, fun, but it's really just preaching to the choir, and it doesn't attract the ire of the occultists. Anyways, GME meltdown. That's what they're doing. They're playing. I'm the evil guy. New melty of the year. What? Who's that? I don't know. I don't get that one. Only 231 off of the quarterly results. The moment. Oh, is that Ryan Cohen? I heard you love the stock. Here, have some more. Oh my god. Wait, Andrew Tate makes Twitter posts about GameStop? I haven't seen any of his posts in a long time. There he is on his boat with the ladies that he probably, you know, pays a salary to. Feeling rich and wrecked. Oh, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Dude, okay, have you seen this meme where like I think it started with some guy. There was this girl that he really liked, and she was wearing something really sexy, and he said that she looked submissive and readable. That's where that's coming from. That's a play on that. So Andrew Tate's take on it is feeling rich and reckless. That is clever. I love it. Okay, but does he actually talk about GameStop in here? Or buying 10K now, diamond hands, never selling. Who the F are you guys? Okay. Have fun losing money. I'm telling you again. Yeah, I'll give you $300 for 39 seconds of your time. All you have to do is rub my shoulders in the background. Oh, no. Like they like. Have you watched the videos about how this shit works? Oh, it's so crazy. It's like you go to the Cannes. How do you pronounce it? The film festival, right? In the Riviera, right? So you go to these events in the Riviera where all of the billionaires bring their yachts, and they're all parked in the dock, and then the girls just walk down the boardwalk, and the guys at the yachts are like, hey, you're cute, why don't you come on our boat? And then, you know, the girls do things like rub your shoulders and so forth in the background of videos, and then you give them things in return, like you help promote their movie career, for instance. I don't understand the approach. Why would you buy into the madness? Wait for low average. Because Uzi, we have experience. These people, I would bet that the vast majority of these people, this is their first foray into the markets, and they don't understand. They don't know what a limit order book is. They don't understand the way that these things work. They just know like something crazy is happening and I want to be involved. Andrew Tate is actually an interesting case on this. So Andrew, I don't know if they have it anymore because it got banned, but Andrew Tate had a paid Discord where you paid like $50 a month or something, and it was a university. They called it what is his brand? I forget what they called it, but it was Andrew Tate's University. And in the university, basically what he did was he hired subject matter experts to teach different ways of doing things. So like one way to build wealth is real estate. So he had a subject matter expert on real estate. One subject matter expert was on stocks, right? And then what will happen is that subject matter experts are actually doing the real work and are there on Discord, like talking to people and teaching. Okay. But then they're also feeding Andrew Tate tips and things for him to say so that he can still look like the mastermind, right? So the stock subject matter expert guy will be like, hey, Andrew, this thing is going on with GameStop. You should buy in, or whatever the deal is, right? And so I think that some of the things that you see Andrew say about the stock market are not really coming from him, right? They're just coming. He wants to look like an expert in that field, but he's really actually getting all of this information from somebody else. And the problem is that somebody else, his subject matter expert, doesn't really completely understand things himself, right? But anyways, I don't know what happened to it because Discord banned them, which is kind of bullshit. I don't think they broke any rules, but I don't like Andrew. I guess I have mixed feelings about him because there's a lot of things that I really despise about him, but he does have some good takes on things too. So it's like, I guess you know what the real deal here is? I'm jealous. I'm just jealous. That's really what it is, I think. Like the Keith Gill thing. I'm jealous. I am. It pisses me off. Like to in all honesty, it makes me angry to think about it, because I want people to understand this stuff better. I think that we as a society are making a couple of really poor decisions because we don't understand the way that the market works. We have these preconceptions about the way that the market works that we were taught in the 80s that are false. And we're making bad decisions because of it. And I want to teach people this so that we can make better decisions and so that we can make a market that's more balanced. That's like the larger trade, I think. And meanwhile, who is it out there that goes and gets all of the attention and blows up and gets big? It's these people that basically like start cults and just do brain dead things. Having $200 million and throwing it all into a GameStop YOLO, trying, and tweeting all of this stuff to just create chaos in the stock is just so reckless and irresponsible to me, right? I put so much effort into trying to not impact the market, right? I tell people, I'm trying to teach you, but I don't want you to follow me. I don't necessarily want you to trade the same way that I do. I want you to come up with your own things, right? I'm very cautious about the way that I say things, and because I don't ever want to be in a situation where it's like I'm just front running my audience. There are creators out there that do that and have made good money off of it. You buy it and then you turn around and you sell it to your audience, and I don't want to do that. And it pisses me off to no end that the people that kind of hit it, get lucky, and become the big name are the ones that are just kind of leading everyone to the slaughter. So I'm jealous and angry about it for sure. And that's what's really going through my head when I'm talking about people like Keith Gill or Andrew Tate. As I'm just supremely disappointed that the algorithms have selected these idiots to be the front man for the markets instead of somebody like me that actually knows what's going on. This happens a lot in Brazil. Famous and controversial people come to financial markets advice and they hire specialists for the advice that everybody knows it, and they still go anyways because this guy that I like in the internet would never hire bad coaches. He must know what he's doing it. Okay, let's read about the payrolls, shall we? Ahead of the payrolls report, we commented that with both of the two largest banks, Goldman and JP Morgan, expecting a miss, it was only logical to expect a big beat. And sure enough, moments ago, the BLS reported that in May, the U.S. added a whopping 272,000 jobs, up sharply from the downwardly revised, of course, April print of 165,000 from 175,000. And not only 92K or a 4 sigma beat to the 180K median estimate, but also above the highest Wall Street estimate, which has 258K courtesy of Regions Bank, and which was 14K below the actual print. Not surprisingly, historical data was, as always, revised lower. March was revised down by 5,000, and the change for April was revised down by 10,000. With these revisions, employment in March and April combined is $15,000 or 15,000 jobs lower than previously reported. It wasn't just the jobs that came in red hot, wages did too. May average hourly earnings increased by 14 cents or spot 4% to double the April increase of spot 2%. The increase meant that the declining every month since January and May hourly wages actually rose on an annual basis. Okay, so now they're just getting really deep into some numbers that I don't think I really need to go too into. Why the increase in the unemployment rate? Because while the establishment survey reported a red hot print, the household survey, which is far more accurate according to them, used to measure the unemployment rate, actually reported that the number of working Americans tumbled by a whopping 408,000. Which means that the gap between the always upward sloping establishment survey and the flatlined household survey, which hasn't made a new high since late 2023 and is back to where it was last summer, is now the biggest on record. Okay, so hot take, but I still think, okay, household survey, they're calling people on landlines. Are they specifically trying to poll illegal immigrants? Are you an illegal immigrant and you've gotten a new job recently or whatever the deal is? Because I kind of think that this discrepancy could be explained by most of the new jobs in the establishment survey coming from illegal immigration. Okay, anyways, I'll have more to say about this gap shortly, but here's the punchline. In May, the number of full-time workers plunged by 625 to 133 million, the lowest since February of 2023, while part-time workers surged by 286,000, the highest on record. While the bulk of the jobs report was literally made up of this, oh my gosh, zero hedge, stop. Could you at least try to be objective sometime? What to make of the data? Well, we will shortly show that once again, the number was brutally massaged by BLS low-level bureaucrats to make Bidenomics look better than it was. But for the market's knee-jerk reaction purposes, the jobs report was too hot for comfort. And with the market no longer pricing in full rate cut before December, yields and the dollar surged, and stock, Bitcoin, and gold all tumbled. As Fitch economist Brian Colton put it, payrolls expanding at a monthly average rate of 250,000 over the last 3 months does not point to much of a slowdown in labor demand. At the same time, the household survey tells us that the participation rate and the labor force declined on the month. That is not the mix of news on labor supply and demand that the Fed wants to see in order to corroborate its assessment that the labor market imbalances are easing. Yet, we would look for a reversal. As Bloomberg notes, the direction of travel in weakening labor market is best indicated by the higher unemployment rate and not the payroll print. That should keep September interest rate cuts squarely on the table. Yes, I totally agree with that. Like earlier this week, remember earlier this week, I was like, you know, this data is starting to get so weak. Could they actually cut before September? Because the data is kind of starting to suggest that, and maybe some of these numbers like non-farms are misleading, and so we should actually be cutting right now. And I think that I continue to see those things in the data that we're getting, and so it may be the case that we need to cut rates right now, but the establishment survey is going to prevent them from doing that. And yet, I do think that it could be enough for them to say, well, we're still going to cut in September, but just not July. Okay. The higher unemployment rate now, spot 6, above the cycle low, and downward revisions to prior months' payroll numbers tell a story of deteriorating labor market. Indeed, the incorrectly named Sahm rule, named after pro-Biden socialist Claudia Sahm, who stole her rule from a Goldman economist, and which is used to calculate recession signals from an uptick in unemployment, says an increase of 0.5% in the previous 12 months gets you there. Like last month, we are now at 0.37%, dangerously close, and outside of the initial pandemic shock, the highest levels since May of 2010. And Morgan Stanley, which is sticking with the 3 Fed rate cuts for 2024 starting in September, agrees. We think the Fed will see the rise in unemployment rate as a sign of further slackening. Meanwhile, expect another analysis here showing just how ugly today's jobs print truly was. Okay, so with some of that information kind of in our minds now, do I come back and look at the market and think differently about it? Well, I think it would be very difficult for them to retrace this stuff above 20 still. I'm not really seeing the strong buying, but there is, well, I don't know. When we come over and we look at cumulative delta, that's a pretty good long trend in buying. That was just to like break even. Obviously, it doesn't even begin to retrace the 30,000 contracts that sold on the initial news either. But is there room for the downward action here to moderate? Maybe. I think the issue is that we had such a run up before in the treasuries, right? So this pushback down doesn't, really just kind of brings us back to they'll probably cut in September. So while I think that there is some room for there to be some buying, I'm skeptical about how far they can actually make it.
Million to the sell side. NASDAQ 100, 10 million to the sell side.
I want to point out that you were right with your trading plan yesterday, but I had bacon. Yeah,
Magnificent
totally
7,
was.
4 million to the sell side.
Feels good. But you know what? Like the funny thing is like I when I laid out like based on the numbers, what's going to happen and all of that, I think that what I said yesterday was pretty spot on. Although I would say that's kind of like the way it is for most non-farms. I didn't think that there was going to be as big of a beat or miss as there was. I didn't say that because I knew that the market had the gamma really high. So I was like, oh, it's not going to do anything because the number's going to come in line. But then why is Wall Street pricing the options for such a huge move? So I was surprised when it came out at how hard the treasuries sold. I thought that I was just going to get a little pop or dip, and then I could go back and focus on it. But instead, it was just like an absolute complete face melting downtrend, So while I can't pat myself on the back too much, right? I'm still struggling with this, this chair doesn't push me forward enough to lean into the microphone. And if I'm going to sit back, I'm too far away. Not that the other chair was too good at that either, but the other chair had different armrests that I could push back so that I could get the chair closer to the desk. Oh, you know what I'm just realizing? Oh, man. So I'm building a new desk, and the new desk is wider. So if I ever finally finish, it's been like a year. I know I've been talking about it for a year, but we've been working on it, okay? I'm going to have to mount it over here. on this side, which will have its own challenges. Oh, I should recenter things, by the way. Okay, so back to bacon. Who owns a house phone anyways? Well, I think that they call cell phones in those surveys too, but they're probably a lot less likely to get illegal immigrants, so. I feel bad laughing about this, but I think there's some truth to it. There's probably going to be some people that blame GameStop not working out for them on the Jews. Yeah. A new generation of bag holders. Yeah, I identified that exact post when we were reading the other sub, didn't I? I honestly don't know how I feel about this. I can't wait to see DFV's point of view. It's halted already, of course. Are you kidding me? Like, oh, did I close the... No, I didn't close Trading View. It's right here. Oh, man. Oh, they actually tried buying it. Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, that's crazy. You know what? I wish that I had better, cheaper data options for intraday stock data in NinjaTrader. Maybe I'm being silly. Now I'm already getting myself off on a tangent because I'm pretty sure that I can write an indicator that would do a pretty good job of predicting where it would halt. Right? Because it's basically like a 5-minute VWAP price band or 10-minute VWAP price band sort of a thing. It's basically the average price. Now I would have to use order data, or not order data. Like I have to look at all orders because it's not volume weighted, it's order weighted. But you look at the average price over the last 10 minutes, and then it's 5% from there. So I would be able to make these bands that would tell you how far it could go. If I was on TradingView, I could make it, but you'd have to have a paid version of TradingView. But I wish that I could create an indicator like that everybody could have, so that these guys wouldn't buy it into that, right? Because they would do better if they're not blowing all their money on making it halt. Okay, so now I am going to go down onto this tangent of like, okay, so what are my options here? Figure barchart.com. Not bar charts, barchart.com. And try bar chart for free. But how much is it? Membership. Premier Plus. Okay, we think we've created the most comprehensive method for keeping track of all of your investments, relevant news, and data that you could want at the most affordable price. So what do you get if you do Plus? Stock, well, you don't get stock picks or futures trading guide, market close, options flow, powerful tools, historical data, Doesn't look to me like the plus would give me the live or let's see here, data, historical and indicator chart data, data, historical symbol data, daily data downloads. You get 10. Okay. So I don't think that barchart.com will give it to me. What is CTrader? CTrader. Forex and algorithmic trading community. Oh. So that's API. I don't think that that's going to give me stock data, will it? eSignal. eSignal. $64 a month now. I want to spend like $5 a month. $5 or $10 a month. What is external? FXCM, Interactive Brokers. TD Ameritrade. THK Uzi YW. Is that some sort of code? There is DX feed, but DX feed is a lot more, right? Let's see. Oh, dude, check this out. I didn't know that they did that. Or maybe I did know that they did that. But here is DX feed for NinjaTrader. And here's the video that I made. And they embedded it into their webpage. That's so cool. Guys, DX feed, I feel so what is the flattered? I don't know. That's really cool. Thank you for using that video. I thought it was a good video. It didn't get as much attention as it deserves because their data is really cool. This whole time during this GameStop thing, I've been thinking, oh man, I wish I had the depth of market for GameStop right now with the X feed, because I bet you that we would be absolutely shocked and horrified if we were looking at the order flow right now, seeing what's going on in that stock, man. Get market data. Non-professional. NASDAQ top of book is $29 a month through them, though. Huh? Halted again. Holy shnikes. Are you kidding me? They're buying it. These people are an extra breed of stupid, man. Can't believe you're getting 77,000 shares dumped onto you and you want to buy more? Okay. Oh man, I don't know about that one. That's crazy. See, like at that point, I might as well spend the $70 a month on total view market depth. I guess if I wanted to focus the stream more on stocks, I could make an investment in that. It would make sense. But at the moment, I just want to be able to make an indicator in NinjaTrader that shows you where GME is going to be halted. And if I can do it in NinjaTrader, that's just easier for me to write. But like the problem is trading view, right? Upgrade. The volume profile. Okay, yeah. So basically what I'm looking for is, can I get stock data in NinjaTrader for less than $12.95 a month? Or should I just write it in TradingView? That's not where you get your data in TradingView. There's another tab. Well, but I think that the free version gives me the data that I want. It's just that I can't do things on like an order by order basis. So let me explain the algorithm. It's a 10-minute average of the price of all orders submitted. It's not volume weighted, right? So if one guy goes and buys 1 million shares and another guy goes and buys 1 share, those factor in equally to the geometric mean of the price, okay? So basically what I have to do is I have to say, for each order, what is the price? And then add it together and then divide by the total number of orders, and that's my average price over the past 10 minutes. And then there are price bands, 5% from that. After the halt, but right back down to 44. Huh. You mean the free on stocks? It is not delayed. Yeah, the data that you get on TradingView is not delayed by 10 minutes for stocks. For futures, it is, but for stocks, it's not delayed. Now, I do think that you are correct in that. Oh wait, where did I? Oh, here it is right here. Oh, there's a basic plan too. Oh, basic is free probably, right? Must be. Oh, basic does support DOM trading? Do you have the data? New low in ZB, good catch. You know, that, like, it's kind of interesting because as soon as I said, like, oh, you know, maybe is there some room for nuance in this report that could cause a little bit of buying? Yes, but I have a hard time seeing them get above 20. But it was almost exactly at that point that the treasuries turned back lower, so it didn't work like that. This number is also if you buy a whole year. The advantage, I think, is if I did it through TradingView, I could share the indicator. But I don't think that it would matter because only paid customers, I think, would be able to use it. The volume is sickening, yeah. Yeah, well, what I need is I need volume data. So that's why if the Essential gives me volume profile, I think that I can make the indicator on Essential. I'm pretty sure I can't make the indicator on Basic. But I do not need full depth of market data to do this. I just need to know the price of the orders. I don't need to know whether they were buys or sells. Free traders can use user-made. Well, but so like if you come in here, right, and you put on in indicators and you say volume profile or something like that, right? Here's a community volume profile. Oh, wait. The community volume profile works. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Okay. It's been a long time though. Okay, so it would be me working out a new one will be open editor in new window. How do I make a new one? Oops. I've made a couple of different indicators of my own.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get US wholesale inventories month over month. Forecast 0.2% on the prior 0.2%, and US wholesale sales month over month. Forecast 0.5% on
Block
the prior
buy.
minus 1.3%.
Aha. Of course. New indicator. I don't know if free users can use the data that I want, but okay. Okay, so this script is going to be called circuit breaker circuit breaker bands. Trading view for each order. This is gonna be a lot of work, okay? Okay. requesting intrabar data. Okay, so here's an example script that they got here in the lower time frame, and then they got intrabar changes, request.security lower time frame, or change in intrabar changes, blah, 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 and then they determine, okay. So that doesn't give me order data.
So in 5 minutes time now, at the top of the hour, see the release of the US wholesale inventories month-over-month revised. Forecast 0.2% on the prior 0.2%, and the wholesale sales month-over-month forecast 0.5% on the prior minus 1.3%.
Yes. Well, yeah. So, yes, go back and watch the beginning of the stream because I can't do it justice. But yes, Keith Gill is going to be streaming today at 12 o'clock Eastern time. But we've also found out this morning that they pre-released the earnings, the quarterly earnings, and are selling more shares. So that kind of like ruins the party, right? Let's ask ChatGPT. Nope, it's giving me nonsense. Wait. Where did it get order history from?
1 minute remaining for US data. I'll leave with the wholesale inventories month over month revised.
Who is Keith Gill? Keith Gill is the Roaring Kitty, is the GameStop guy. Roaring Kitty. Pay attention. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Lucas. I thought that was someone else. Okay, so there's the wholesale sales. Or rather, wholesale sales. Much lower than expected, though. Maybe I can't do it with Pine Script. Okay, so if I come back over here to Pine Script and I do indicators and I say cumulative delta, for instance, I add that onto a chart. Well, it's doing something. Source code. No, don't save my changes. No, it's just doing the volume based on whether it was up or down. That won't work. How about VWAP? Like this one, source code. High plus low divided by 2 times the volume. No, that's not going to work either. I think I'm giving up. I think I'm giving up, guys. I don't think I can do it in Pine Script, actually. Can't seem to find the data. Oh, look, they have this nifty little thing. They have this nifty little chart of all of the data providers and like these things in here. CFDs, cryptos, equities. So I want E. I want here instruments supported E. Okay, kinetic. Bar chart. E-signal. Interactive brokers, IQ feed, of course. TD Ameritrade. So my choices are really basically kinetic, bar chart, and E-signal, right? Bar chart, Ninja Trader. Oh my gosh. $200 symbol limit, $69 a month. What? E-signal. E-signal Ninja Trader. Yeah, you got to pay to play, but it shouldn't be as it should be for the limited amount of data that I want. Should not be that expensive. Oh, that's right. E-signal is way more expensive than I thought. $216 a month. What? See, kinetic, I think, is probably going to be, yeah, $78 per month. And then, yeah, I guess you have to add these stocks, so it's actually more like $80 a month. Now I remember being able to use like Yahoo. These connections are no longer supported. This what shows. Yeah, I saw that one. Doesn't look like there's really a very good option for me. Other than, well, rather the best option for me would be DX feed, right? If I just get US equities top of, oh, actually $30 a month. Like, that's the thing. Those other options that it was giving, they weren't as good as the total view. Like, well, I think about it. Like, part of the thing is I want it for like one specific purpose. So would I really take advantage of it after getting it? And I don't know. Yeah, I'd be careful about, you know, being too ADHD and stuff. By the way, here's our little indicator. It looks like I resolved that one issue. Let me come into the exported data files and see what we got. So we should get 2 files here. This one would be yesterday's. That looks good. So then here this morning, yeah, very nice, very nice. So tell me, here, let me take a picture of it. I'm gonna send a picture of this to Uzi here. And then you can tell me. Actually, you know, come back here for a second. What does yours look like? Does yours look like that, Uzi? Are you having problems with the stream lagging? How far behind are you? I mean, you can look at the clock, so you should be able to tell how many seconds off you are. 1 second, I'll send you a comparison. Okay. I might expect some small discrepancies, but the shape of the charts should be pretty much the same. Especially the period after the news release. What? The Paul Tyson boxing match was rescheduled for November 15th? Why? Boo. Boo. Why? The boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson has a new date after the scheduled July 20 clash between YouTuber turned prize fighter and former heavyweight champion was postponed due to Tyson's medical issues. Authorities confirmed with ESPN that the fight has been rescheduled for Friday, November 15th at AT&T Stadium. The highly anticipated rematch between Katie Taylor and Amanda... Now they're talking about something completely different. Paul Tyson's new date will raise a few eyebrows with it falling on a Friday instead of a Saturday, which is commonplace for major boxing events. However, with the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Houston Texans on November 18th for Monday Night Football, a Friday fight would give the stadium time to set up for the Cowboys' home game just a few days later. The original July date was clear of the NFL season and faced little competition. Fortunately, Tyson suffered an ulcer flare-up on May 26th flight from Miami to LA that required medical attention. Tyson was forced to postpone the fight after a health checkup when doctors required him to limit his training over the next few weeks until his condition improved. Dang. I'm crushed. I went from the highest highs to the lowest lows in one session. I'm just so utterly crushed. Quick, let's go back to the GameStop subs. Read tiers. Cheer ourselves up again. You know what I need to do on this thread right here on Superstonk? So I need to come in here and sort by controversial. Where are the real tiers? Look at how many fudders and shills are in this post. This is good news, folks. Do not entertain them. This is it. It's happening. History is repeating. Are you kidding me? Wait. You just got shares diluted on you. 75,000 new shares. Completely cutting your momentum ahead of like the big moment. And you're trying to tell me it's a good thing? What? Okay, he says should be roughly. Oh yeah, no, they look totally the same. Pretty close. Pretty close. I do kind of wonder when I'm coming in here and I'm looking at this. And there's one and comes down a little bit. Okay, so here's one. And here's one. Right, so on mine, there's a little bit more variation in through here. So that probably could be different because you're not using Rhythmic, right? I'm using Rhythmic, so. But it comes down and then there's this deeper one. Now this one I find interesting that you've got two bars down there like that. That's kind of interesting. But overall, I'd say that they're pretty close. So I think we did it, folks. I think I did it. I think I fixed it. I think one thing I want to do, maybe over the weekend, is make it so that you can color the bars by if they're historical or not, so that the historical bars are grayed out. They're not just stacking cash for fun. They obviously have something in mind. Everyone who is being negative just needs to relax. Your investment isn't going to be worth less money, considering when the mother of all short squeezes happens. None of this stuff would matter anyways. You'll still be rich AF. We're not getting screwed. Just trust the process. Ryan Cohen and, oh, I don't know who else he is. And the board know what they're doing better than, yeah, they do know what they're doing better than you do. And they know that when the stock is that overvalued, that the wise thing to do is to sell shares into you, yeah. Stop moaning, this is good for GameStop. How stupid are these people, man? My gosh. Near 25% dilution and the stock is still green. This is bullish AF. Well. Let's see here. Did I close my chart? I did. Fear and greed index is at 45%. Oh no. I don't know what that means. Okay, so the initial buy that was causing a bunch of halts has subsided and come back down. Okay, so here's one of the interesting things is that people will look at this sweep back down and they'll be like, well, how come this one made it halt but this one didn't? Because it's a moving average, right? So over here the moving average is way down here. At this point the moving average is like somewhere over here, so that's not a 5% deviation. Yeah, bullish AF as the stock plummets, right? I won't sugarcoat my feelings. This sucks, and I'm glad I sold a small portion of my shares yesterday. Guess I'll use that to buy when the stock crashes back to $20. Yeah, probably. I bet she'd go lower than $20 in the long run. Ouch, sad face. The whole thing everywhere that I had looked was, oh, if Ryan Cohen sells more shares into this, then the apes will abandon him. Doesn't look like that's what's happening to me. I mean, of course that's super stonk, but doesn't look like that's what's happening. Let's go back. Reddit.com/r/Wall Street Bets. The real fun. What does it mean, McDonald's? Oh my gosh, that GIF is too much. Okay. Am I doing this right when you gain? Think again. Come on, where's the thread about share sales? Sort by new. Reddit to the moon. Oh my gosh, I haven't checked Reddit in such a long time. RDDT. Well, do we regret getting into the IPO? It's not bad. That's not bad. It's not terrible. It's actually not that many new posts on Wall Street Bets. Wow, lots of stuff in daily discussion though. Steve Cohen's 0.72 up stake in Boeing by over 400%. Okay, good luck with that one, bro. Dude, there is not actually a specific thread about the GameStop thing here. Super Stonk is larger. Okay, well. Guy who shorted at 44 is a G. Yeah. Oh, is it sorting my comments by new? I hate it when they do that to you. Okay. Best. Lots of 19-year-old TikTok investors going to be Googling what IV is today. Oh my gosh, right? Ryan Cohen, you motherfucker. That's funny. He's rugging champion of the world. Anyone who trusts him after towel is regarded. Yeah. You're not supposed to use the other R word, so you have to say regarded. Gotcha. Actually, not as much fun tears about it in this thread as I thought, but maybe the GameStop thread or one. This will not affect the massive gamma ramp still set up and leading to past June 21st. The amount of calls that are in the money is absurd with zero hedging done to stop it. Probably not. Like when you buy the calls, like they buy the stock like right then. So what makes you think commenting for his disability once? Oh my gosh. Except for that they're offering 75 million shares when everyone thought that it would be hard to find 12 million shares for DFV. Yeah. So they're coping. Cash war chest destroys any bear thesis, and we will have issued close to the percentage of shares short a recent official reported short interest. When price keeps rising after it's completed, what will be their excuse? So again, it's retail traders buying it, right? Company probably do this multiple times without actually letting shorts off the hook if the shares could not be located to deliver Kitty's calls if executed. How many actual real shares do we think are actively floating right now? Why would they do this, please? Oh my gosh. Can someone explain to me why they would do this, please? And then there's a space between please and the question mark. That just makes it just seems like they're so distraught about this. Some government body may have forced them to do it. Okay. You say so. Yep. Not sure what to think of this, but I'm not selling. Okay. Everybody else will. How far? So what I'm seeing here is, okay, the people buying it, so there's still people coping, basically. I think that overall today will be a loss, but some people are going to fight it, right? The real thing here is, like, who else is going to buy? I just can't imagine who would be stupid enough at this point to buy. Are there enough stupid people with that much money left? I don't know. Shikara sold himself out completely and went long at $40 and is now a new bag holder? Really? That's funny. If that's true, that's funny. Hey, we aren't being fired today. Do you think we can still have a pizza party? Well, I guess that's the end of the action for today, huh? Yeah, the 10-year is just like completely dead, right? Like we might as well just keep that. Oh, did I close it again? You know what'll happen is I'll say like, I closed that tab, didn't I? So I'll open a new one, and then I'll find that I didn't actually close it. I'll head out for my 11. No, look, GameStop, it's moving up, Uzi. It's just getting interesting, right? The short squeeze is about to happen. You're gonna miss it. Oh, man. I am actually a little bit surprised at how much the treasuries slowed down there after the... Like, I know it's a Friday and everything, but that's a little bit more abrupt than usual. They must have seen that I wasn't as engaged, and so they're like, well, we might as well not, not bother. We're not going to trick Seth today, so... Yeah, but my interest in that is very passive. I get it. Bacon's not your thing. I love bacon. Oh, really? Well, I on Saturday is when I'm a max out. I need to wake up early, get some good food in me early so that it's digesting before my workout, right? So, but Sunday I could cook some nice, good, thick cut bacon on Sunday. Yeah. Maybe smoke it. Your brother is still in trying to get out. Why is he not? What is the holdup? You sell it. I don't. Okay. He's probably waiting until it's very clearly in a downtrend and then he's going to puke. But then, maybe it's above his cost basis or it's below his cost basis at that point and then he can't get out. And he's like, why didn't I get out? So. Can you imagine what if this whole thing fizzles out and Roaring Kitty's call options expire worthless? That's just wild, right? How do you think he'll feel? How do you think he feels this morning? Right? Seeing the earnings come out early and the new shares sold right before this huge live stream event. Like it's got to have been like he woke up in the morning and read that and just like doom, You ever had that that feeling I'm talking about? Like when you were a kid in elementary school and you get to school and then the teacher is like, okay, it's now time to give your oral presentations on the book report. And you're like, oh, fetch. I totally forgot about that assignment. I did not do that at all. And your body releases all of the cortisol and it just hits you all at once. Your stomach sinks. You know the feeling I'm talking about? That's got to be what he felt when he woke up this morning and saw that Cohen sold shares on him. He's an idiot if that's not what he felt. Because seriously. If he exercised the 120,000 options, the market won't have the stocks available. Why do you think that? So hold on. Let's go to finance.yahoo.com. GameStop. Statistics. Okay. Shares outstanding 351 million. So 120,000. Wait, how many did he have? Let's see here. Reddit.com/r/superstonk. And then he had an update June 3rd, right? This one. And it was, he owned 120,000 calls. Is that right? Okay. So we actually need to say 120 million, huh? They need 120 million shares, right? And there's 351 outstanding. 351 million. Okay. So he is set to own 40% of the stock. Now you know why they issued 75. Well, so I don't think that it's they would be able to find them somehow. It might take some work, right? Like they would have to go out to the open market and buy them, perhaps. Market makers might own a lot of shares already and, you know, they just collect them all up. It would send the price like soaring high, right? But then it's like he owns them all, right? He's the bag holder, basically. Out of those 351, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But see, I know what you guys are going at, right? Because the whole thing is that they think derivatives are awful, and derivatives allow you to place bets for far more shares than are actually available. And so if I buy enough options, then there's no way that you will be able to fill me on my executed options, right? Well, you can do that. It would probably cause problems. I don't think that it will turn out well for Keith, though. Right? But I do think that's what he wanted to do. I think that that's why he made the live stream today, was he was going to execute his options. Or say that he's still in it. In fact, I'm going to bet that when he has his live stream today, that he will still say he's long. He'll still say he's long. But you know what? If he's still in that and this is still a thing next week, they'll just sell more shares, man. Like, you as the company itself, you've got to be stupid not to take advantage of that, man. That's literally billions of dollars that you could use for your business and to give yourself, frankly. They're just handing you money. But I don't think that he has enough equity to execute them anymore. So when it was like $60 last night, that maybe that could happen. Well, GameStop is actually kind of slowed down too. Avoid news algo. Yeah. I think I basically changed this to only cache live data. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. DM your way. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, you can see. Yes, I totally. I actually went and looked that up myself. Where you can see the option strike where he bought it at 20. You want to look at that? Hold on a second. No, I'm not logged in. Hold on. So here's a GameStop. And we're interested in the June 21 options. All strike prices. So if we come back over here to the 20 strike, you can see the open interest. But what was interesting to me, well, it has changed a little bit. What was interesting to me was when I'm looking at puts, you know, I'm like, okay, how far out do I need to get for them to be cheap? Where are we at right now again? 36. Okay, so at the money, I'm spending $10. But then it changes awfully quickly. Yeah, you could probably pocket these spreads like verticals really easily. So let's say you do something like you sell 30s and you buy 25s or something like that, right? Then you get it for $300. Or you just go all the way down to 20 and you can buy them for $1, which, by the way, is where the most amount of puts are. So to trade, the highest open interest put strike is, oh well, it's the same place as where Keith is, but still, $1. It's pretty wild. So here's another thing. If we zoom out here to a daily and we add a volume, how much volume are we trading? 205 million. So There's enough volume in a day for him to do it. But if he exercised it, it would really push the stock up for sure. Like I think if he comes in today and like somehow he's still able to execute his options or something like that. I don't know how that would work, but or he's, you know, if he executes his options, I would wait a little bit for everybody to get excited and the stock to run up and then like sell it the next day. I don't know if it would make sense to do it on the options because the implied volatility on them is so insane, but is this site free to use? What, TradingView? Yes, TradingView is free to use. There's paid plans, but it's free. Oh no, well, kind of. The options site that I'm using is just Fidelity. This is just my Fidelity broker, right? It's telling me to put in a trade here, right? Like, okay, 20 half. Buy 20 half puts. So your estimated max loss is $130. Your estimated max gain, and I don't know where they're getting that from, is almost $2,000. Hey, 20 to 1 risk reward. You want to do it? I wonder if he is going to execute. Price is going to go ape shit up, and GameStop will use that to sell their 75. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, did I close it already again? YOLO update. Okay. So he has 120 million or 1,000. Okay. So to actually execute, he needs 120 million times 20. He needs... Oh, there's no way. He would need $2.4 billion. Am I reading that right? Yes. If you have an account with them, then you could look at that information. And you have to have you have to like signed a disclosure, and they send a thing out to you that explains options and stuff. Yeah. But even if you're not allowed to trade options, I think it will still let you look at the prices. By the way, look at the implied volatility. Almost 300%. So funny. Oh, man. How much cash does he have? He has $29 million in cash. So his calls... Yeah, 51. They're not anywhere even close. Am I reading this wrong? Am I making a mistake here, guys? Double check me. It seems to me that there is no way that he can come even remotely close to being able to execute his options. So everybody that is predicting, and I was subscribing to that theory too earlier in the stream, that he was planning on executing his options, are talking out their butt. He could execute some of them, but he certainly can't execute all of them. He doesn't have the money for it. He would need like $2 billion, right? 120,000 times 100 to be 120 million times $20 a share is $2,400,000,000. He's not anywhere close to being able to execute them. This scenario that people are laying out is utter nonsense. It's bonkers. That's good to know. That might make a good TikTok. Looks like it's sunny outside now. That was a crazy thunderstorm. That was like a Midwest thunderstorm last night. Wish I could have gone outside and looked at it, but you know, context. I guess now that I'm rich, I should get eye surgery or something. You're out for the walk. Yep, it's about time to get going. I will see you next week. I was about to start looking for the avoid news algo. Let's see if we can find a good news, a good source. Oh yeah, I did a search. All past economic releases. Economic indicators calendar from the New York Fed. Reddit. Historical economic release calendar. Does anyone know if any providers have a historical economic release calendar, for instance, releases of things like ADP or ISM? I ask because I would like to backtest that uses these numbers, but would want to obviously avoid look-ahead bias and not use a data series prior to its release. I have the release data itself, but unfortunately it's labeled year, month. No reference to the actual day or time of the release. You can scrape several years of releases from the Forex Factory calendar. How? By just visiting the page, I guess. With the Fred API, you can pull first release, vintage data, and dates it was released, as opposed to the time series date for the data. You can also pull dates for revisions up to the last revision dates. Fred API. Yeah, I'm rich now. I'm not rich. I'm upper middle class now. Yes. But I did not short GameStop. I wish. It looks like I would be up like 30% or something. Actually, that's I didn't think of it that way. When I was looking at those numbers, it was basically saying, or these numbers right here, it's just basically saying $1. Well, when I was looking at it last night, it was 70. So it would have made $30. I could have made $300 on it, or 30 bucks rather. Yeah. So risked $70 to make $30, and it's not that great, right? Okay, St. Louis Fed Web Services, Fred API. Fred API is a web service that allows developers to write programs and build applications that retrieve economic data from Fred and Alfred websites hosted by the Economic Research Division of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Requests can be customized according to data source, release, category, series, and other preferences. API categories: get a category, get the child categories. Releases: get all releases of economic data, get the release dates for all economic data. And then I click on a link here. Examples. Request. Date, release date, but it doesn't give me release time. That's not what we want. Okay, so Fred, I don't think Fred will do it. Said going back to Forex Factory, they said that you can get CSV here below weekly report. No. Today. None. Dollar. Ah, right here over on the left. Weekly report in JSON. Wait. FF calendar this week. .json. What if I say this month? Does it change down here? No, just a weekly report. A bunch of people still saying just scrape the data. I bet you that there's some other... Well, okay, let's see. And then I gotta get going. Network. Next month. Apply settings. Calendar question mark month equals this. This right here is FF. Oh man. Oh, but wait, they're getting it from somewhere else. They're not getting it from... They're getting it from faireconomy.media? What's that? That's themselves. There's got to be a version of that endpoint that shows me more, past weeks. Rapid API trading calendar. Sign up. What the heck? Okay, I'm like, why? Why would I sign up with Facebook? Okay, whatever. Okay. Basic gives me okay. Version, endpoints, blah 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 blah. Provider info. Oh, start free plan. Let's get started. Target test endpoint. Okay. 0 title 8:30 a.m. employment situation start, and oh hell yes, this is going to give it to me. This is going to give it to me. I feel so evil right now, even though I'm not doing anything even remotely evil, but for some reason I feel like I've figured something out that I'm not supposed to. I don't know. It's just I'm gonna look at that. Okay, so we got to come over here and we've got to say the avoid news algo. We are going to put in rapidapi.com. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week, Monday. Hopefully I have good news for you on the weightlifting. But, whatever. That's the only thing going on this weekend. Stay excellent, team. Don't get sucked. Don't get your bacon cooked.